that lead that you have into an equalized game. So maybe for Team HAQ, it's really about experience, because from their portfolio that we see, this is their first season as a team together, and this is their first debut as an organization in HOK Esports.
Yeah, and look, Boom Esports, when they first came onto the international stage, they were not that amazing. Okay, let's be very clear. This is a team that has taken their licks and has bounced back, and they're where they are because of the losses that they took, right? They definitely learned, and I think that this is a great opportunity for Team HAQ. They're going to be in the same shoes in the sense of just being able to play against, again, the high-level teams here. They're going to bring that back into MKL, and they might be a menace there.
Oh yeah, you make a good point, right? They were once here as Season 2 back in Malaysia, and then they were absent in Season 3, and they managed to go for the PKL Spring Champions. And that's where they started their top 8 run in KIC. So these are important experience points that Boom Esports have absorbed for themselves, hence we see this updated version of them. So how far can Team HAQ actually grow in 2026? That's still an unwritten book for all of us.
Yeah. I think that that's going to be the most exciting part. I mean, this entire Honor of Kings esports, environment has been great for all of the teams, right? If you're looking at even like Blacklist, BTR, all of these teams are so much better than when they started, right? But it looks like Team HAQ going with the HAQ first pick. Talk me through this hero. This hero is amazing with the Mirage.
Okay, HAQ is a nightmare for soft roamers like Dolia, Diadia, Mozi. Those are that are not tanky, right? You lock them into that Moonscape Mirage 1v1 zone and box them out and make sure that they regret for mispositioning, right? And it also is a double-edged sword where if you out someone as HAQ on your own team, you need your teammates to immediately respond and go right towards you. You need to wait outside of the Moonscape Mirage. It's like you are happily 1v1ing, but imagine you come out, your team is not here, but the enemy 5-man is like, hey, you're out of the Moonscape. I'm here to pummel you.
Yeah. I've been there many a times. To be honest, this is my most hated hero in ranked right now because I play melee Clash laners, and he just HAQ just absolutely throws me in the Mirage, beats me up to a pulp, kills me in there, and then just laughs on the way out. Right? Like, this is a super annoying hero to deal with, and I mean, playing it on this stage now with like a 5-man stack where everybody's on the same page, you're gonna see the true power here.
Yep, but let's talk about the counters as well against HAQ. So this Purify spell is one of the counters to remove the link that she has on towards you. Or, for example, Direnjit could be a good pickup here coming in for Boom Esports to really use that spell too, the legal immunity, to remove the HAQ ultimate as well. Not when you are in the ultimate, but when she's channeling that ultimate. And the third way of countering HAQ is long-range spells. The Garuda, the Celestial, things that outrange her and outpoke her before the fights, those are much appreciated coming in for Boom Esports.
Yeah, basically just soften her up a little bit before that so that she's a little bit more hesitant to take that Mirage, the Moonscape Mirage, fight for it. So it looks like Boom Esports have taken, they're on the same page with you, Sagi, right? They're going to pick up the Nua here, the Celestial, to kind of deal with that. And also, it's a nice little counter into the Lung as well. We talked about that in the last game.
Yep, we saw it, right? We saw how Danny was having such a difficult time piloting the Lung into some of these long-range spells that's being pummeled in towards his face. So excited to see what Tsuri can actually answer into Lola for this game 3, because after that game, Coach CN is probably like, hey guys, no more toying around. We are ending it here, and we are making sure that we are back on towards the leaderboard. But let's take our focus in towards the drafting phase on the second phase. We do see more of the roamer bans. I like the Zhuangzi ban coming in for the side of Boom Esports. It's because you have the Zhang Fei, you have the Martial Monk. All these are big knockups that you do not want them to be actually voided out by with just a click of a button.
Yeah, the CC is real, right? But it looks like Team HAQ are going to go, potentially, they're highlighting it right now, with the Peacekeeper and the Featherfoot just getting to that back line. That's going to be a huge one. If Bai is able to find, Tatsuri, Danny, any of these guys that are very juicy targets, and is able to get those pickoffs.
It looks good, right? On a... Let's view it as a whole, right? I think Team HAQ, what they want is ultimate mid lane control. Like we can say, yes, Celestial is really good in the mid to late game, but her early game wave clear is pretty terrible, I would say. And if you have the Mozi and also the HAQ, the standing mid, with that insane wave clear coming in by the HAQ, the triple spell one, you can immediately rotate and cause chaos in the side lane. But check out Carl's hero pool once again. He's locking in that Lam. He's going aggressive.
Yeah, want to go aggressive to the back line. Say like, okay, if you want to, you bring out your fade, you want to go aggressive, you want to be an assassin style, well, you're going to have to deal with Lam as well. So Carl, more than up to the task. This is their late game, last pick, trump card here. But Boom Esports, is this draft good enough? Does it counter what Team HAQ is bringing to the table?
Okay, let me think for a while. I'm channeling the thoughts in my mind. I think in team fights, it's going to be pretty difficult for Team HAQ to actually commit. But if we look outside of team fights, which is laning phase, Team HAQ actually has a very solid laning phase with their strong side lane. The Long and Mozi actually outperforms the Lady Sun and also the Zhang Fei combination. And there is still a path to visit for Lola on that Long. It's the Frostguard Embrace semi-tank Long build that gives him much more room to play against the heroes like the Lamb on the Assassination and also Lady Sun with strong armor piercing with those early game builds. So for Team HAQ, laning phase, the thing that we discussed about, is so important for them.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, going tank on that Lung is super smart. I think that is definitely the direction that they should be going. Lola, that is. Because if you're looking at the Lam, Nua, and Lady Sun, yeah, they have the damage, but they're kind of glass cannons. They have that potential. If the target were to survive, they could turn that around. They could have that damage to really kind of shake things up. But is this draft good enough to take them down? We're going to have to find out in Game 3 here.
I'm a bit fearful for Team HAQ because in the teamfight department, we've seen the same things that are being proposed by Boom Esports in Game 1. Remember how well Boom Esports actually performs when they get their hands on Miggy in such an aggressive clash lane that looks for those backline assassinations. Remember Game 1, the Guan Yu was just charging through the backline, finding those pickoffs here. So imagine the same thing that's going to be committed by Miggy in this Game 3 as well, at the very least for Boom Esports.
Yeah. So again, it comes back to, the deficiencies of Game 1. Team HAQ that was they were losing the vision score. They had zero idea where Mickey was coming from. His ambushes were on point because it was coming from the shadows and a complete blind spot on them. So Team HAQ, if anything, they need to space out. They need to check every brush so that nobody gets the jump on them.
Good creation block off Mon in this early phase, but check out Haya here. Triple spell one, boom, boom, pow. Okay, easy wave clear, and he's out of here. So it's a bit slow. I think he never really tagged all the minions here, which allowed Carl to pick up some of these farms straight off the bat, but it's okay. All is good. 2v2 towards the bottom side here. Nice cannon blast into the right of wind to chunk out Danny.
It's going to be a good start for them. Again, I think the biggest thing is Lola. He's been left isolated in the other two games, right? He was going up against Danny. Danny has gotten the better of him, and so kind of, accelerated from there. So giving Nuo, the babysitting duties, I think is going to be very smart for Team HAQ here.
It's shifting priorities, right? Like Game 1, Game 2, leaving the farm lanes to duke it out in a 1v1 solo match, and right now, changing up the priority, making sure that Lola doesn't have too bad of a time. But this Firebeak looks to be easy access for Danny, but Carl's position.
Oh, Bai actually was thinking about it. They find Carl, though, who actually takes a little bit of damage. He was looking to ambush himself, but Bai spots him out. But Carl, again, just walking it off.
Yep. Step from below, pushing the minions back into the hands of Tatsuri. Fast clear, moving out as soon as possible here. Tatsuri just camping on towards this bush, giving as much information as possible. So early game-wise, back and forth slightly, but people are still hesitant on going all in.
Yeah, and that's going to be the biggest thing, right? I mean, nobody wants to kind of give away the game, especially early. That first blood is kind of key. Miggy even showing up to ensure that Carl has a little bit more space. Nobody's kind of taking away his farm.
Finley is so scary here. Look at the amount of people that's being invested by both teams. And to a certain point as well, if you're playing jungle and you're playing roam, and if you don't want to take gold from your laners, you need to space yourself as a roamer away from the wave where the jungler is present, because the jungle item and roamer item actually counteracts each other, and the gold goes into whoever who last hits instead. Because usually, if the roamer last hit, it's like, okay, it's fine, I still get the full gold. But when both jungle and roamer are present with the laner, that's where you need to watch out.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to just make sure that the spacing is proper here. But it looks like Boom Esports, I mean, they're sticking around. I mean, you're seeing the draws just reaping the benefits of at least the XP, and that's kind of what he wants. He doesn't really need the net worth and that gold. And Carl, right now, his farming has been on point.
Slowly but steadily, right? These are the assassin's daily routine. You are not that strong in the early game. You need more time to scale and farm towards the first 4 to 8 minutes. That's where you're strong. The Axe of Torment comes in, the item starts kicking in, that's where you can burst and final silent assassination. But I'm still waiting to see where Mon pulls up his first ultimate, yet to see any active plays coming in for Mon.
Yeah, but Bai was being a little bit aggressive, but he actually took most of that damage, and Carl was waiting for the fight to truly happen. If anything, Draw has level 4, so that Umbrella Outburst could really be team fight winning. But again, I think the biggest piece is just staying alive for that 4-minute tirade.
It's already an improvement compared to Game 1 and Game 2, where Game 1 and Game 2 laning phase already had a lot of explosions happening. So right now we see a bit of a shift out right. More stable laning phase that we want to see and expect. So it gives you more control coming into this 4th minute mark. As we see, players are teleporting themselves using a teleportation shrine to come in towards this fight.
Yeah, this is going to be key, right? I mean, setting it up for 4 minutes, the teleportation, it looks like John was thinking about it, but he's going to pump fake it, not actually commit on this one. This is going to open things up for Boom Esports, who have the numbers advantage on the Tyrant. Draws there, providing that vision in case somebody potentially were to dive in with Nuno, but it looks like Carl has the Tyrant.
It's just a clean give up, right? It's like, okay guys, John is already slow. We are focusing on Bai's jungle pathing here. Make sure that Bai gets the most farm as possible. Then we play for the late game here. The emergence comes in, trying to save Boom Esports here.
Maybe with that truth, setting it up. Oh, but the Moonscape Barrage, they've actually got locked in, and now Tatsuri's on the run because he's all by himself. He does stay alive. Infinite Fastness on back, and Miggy comes back, and he's angry. He wants to go in, gets the Formlessness on, gets the knock around, and Mon is going to give up first blood to Draw.
But on the flip side, though, Carl gets caught in an awkward position here. Face checks towards the bush, gets caught in the box by the hands of Nuono and also John. 1-for-1 in terms of jungle exchange, but check out bot lane, though. Danny wasn't around. Danny was just pummeling those turrets.
Yeah, taking that one, that bottom T1, which is going to be huge for them. And I mean, this is going to be a big factor, right? No. How much control can he have? Is he able to lock down Carl? I think that they're going to really be able to turn some team fights if he gets like multi-man boxes.
And this is a painful exchange coming in from Team HAQ. It's not just one tower. That's 2 towers in towards the farm lane that was picked up by Dani. And also the amount of waves that he got for free. This is going to skyrocket this Lady Sun Cannon Bells farm into a very high TPM.
Yeah, you don't really want to see the Lady Soon Danny get really free farm. 3.9 right now, highest actually in the game. So all that space, he's happily taking that up, and he will become a monster come mid to late game.
And you can see the build that we discussed pre-game. Last game, Danny went for the full critical build, and this game, Lola went for the semi-tank build on towards low. This gives you very good tank ability, and you don't really die that easily. 300 extra armor, similar to a Ominous Premonition, but the key giveaway here is you can sustain, you can fight longer, but you sacrifice your burst damage.
Yeah. I think right now it's just about staying alive. They have a lot of, really offensive weapons on both squads right now. It's about just being able to withstand that initial burst and then do your own damage. Because again, the other squad, very squishy as well.
Very squishy. I'm still keeping my eyes on towards Mon's Evernight Aspiration here. Waiting to see where he gets his second ultimate. But look at Miggy though, nice set!
Oh, nice little set. And they've got him, and they get the pick off. Mon was left watching on this one. Miggy making him pay, and again, from the brush.
Miggy is just really aggressive when you give him hands on things that are CC geared up. Like, remember the Guan Yu in Game 1? He was just around the map fighting those pickoffs, and remember this game, he's been fighting back-to-back one, but Danny here in the bad position.
Oh, Danny gets Jade Seal to death, and he's gonna just try to stay alive though. He's gonna dodge most of this, and he gets on top of the ledge. He's gonna be bouncing around, and I mean, Team HAQ have actually found a nice little pickoff finding Danny early.
Back-to-back good pickoffs coming in by both teams here. Gold lead is within a 1,000 comfortable for both sides. Suri comes in, but is he in a bad position though? Nice creation block, pushing back by. But tower is secured coming in by the side of Team HAQ.
Yeah, big commitment there by Boom Esports. They were trying to save that tower, but Team HAQ right now are feeling it. I mean, yes, they're down slightly. It's about 600 gold at this point, but this is far, way better than they've been in terms of this series, right? This has been their best early game. They need to continue on with this pressure here.
I love the improvement. Like, they're pacing themselves from every game's mistake, right? They're warming themselves up, and right now, at the 8th minute mark, it's trying to go back to our conversation during the pre-game draft that we want to see a more stable Team HAQ less on the losing lane side, more on the slow but steadily farming those 3 big items into that shadow objective fight.
Yeah, and actually the biggest piece of that was that Bai was like, okay, we need to get that pick off onto the guy that has been free farming, which is Danny, right? Him going down has really stunted his growth. He's now kind of dropped down. He's got about 5.5, equalizing with Lola at this stage. So that's one good way of getting back into this one.
Upside, a lot of these members being committed by the side of Boom Esports, 5 strong members with the Bai being shown on towards the bottom side here. We might see a potential engage by Miggy.
Oh, they find him. John, he's in a bad spot. He tries to flash. He runs into the wall, but he actually just gets back barely enough. And it looks like the box is going to save him. The Cannon Blast covering that retreat as well. And space created for Bai in that bottom lane. Bottom T2 going down. And Bai looking to go for cleanup. No, he wants to go for the minions instead.
This is a dream scenario if you are Carl and also Bai here. You're given so much room to pick a resource on towards the map. For Bai, it's the team holding on in the 45 position and getting that crucial defense, right? And it gives Bai the leeway to get that bottom tower, to get those waves, pump that goal in, so you can prepare that 10th minute fight right now. We see a bit of a pick-up on towards Nuno.
Yeah, Nuno is in a bad spot. There's going to be 5 members of Boom Esports. They're going to be easily take that one guy away. Nuno was all by himself, but space created. John was pushing the top lane, but now Boom Esports turn their attention to this bottom one here.
Annihilation doesn't find on towards anybody though. Danny getting a big of a poke on towards the tier 3, on towards the bottom side. Some signal shots to just push the enemies back towards the base here. With the death timers being so close in towards the shadow objective, I do think that Boom has a prime position going in towards the 10th minute mark.
Yeah, I mean, the spacing, the timing is not really there, but they actually find Miggy. Looking to just trade with John. Reinforcements are on the way. Bai is there as well. Carl needs to get on back. He's not hit that Super Saiyan mode where he's like completely online, but this is a moment where, again, it's only 10 minutes into the game.
Alarming mana bar as well coming in from Bai. Tatsuri has to pop the flash to escape from the Moon's Game Mirage, but he does find on towards Danny. Danny's just pummeling him.
Oh, Danny actually says, oh, you want to send me into purgatory? Let's go. Gets the pick off. They find it. It's a team ace. Boom Esports making them pay.
That was a really fast team fight. I think within 10 seconds, everybody is down coming in from Team HAQ. It started off with Mon pulling Danny into the Moon's Game Mirage, but due to the item disadvantage coming in by Dahaya, it was a clean and easy kill by the side of Danny. And out on the other end, it was the beautiful unbridled outburst chain from the death from below by the side of Carl in finding those big kills. And right now, with an ace, double objective once again.
Yeah, actually, I'm sure Mon is just like, okay, mistakes were made, right? Danny was the worst guy to pull in. I mean, the damage that he had was able to just burst him, where Mon really didn't have much of a chance. And Boom Esports have the other guys. You have Carl on the Lam as well as the Nua Tatsuri. You have a lot of heroes that can deal that damage. And you don't always need Danny to do it, but now it looks like they find Miggy in a bad spot. And now here comes the turnaround. The Infinite Fastness is going to be used. The box is going to be setting them up, but somehow Miggy is so low, and he eventually will fall on this one. Danny dies as well, but Carl with a double. They're looking to trade. Bai gets the double, so it looks like they're going to be retreating here.
This is the good news for the side of Team HAQ. With Boom Esports securing both shadow objectives and they can still force an equal trade, this means the shadow objective that they have attained wouldn't be much more beneficial compared to before, so they have halted the advance coming in from Boom. Maybe a repeat of what we saw back in Game 2.
Yeah. Definitely the potential is going to be there, right? I think that Bai also, if he's able to get online with Lola, having those items to really fight back, they might have a tough time, right? Boom Esports right now, yes, they have the heroes to kind of, win that team fight, but Team HAQ, the way that they've been positioning, they've been able to outmaneuver a lot of what Boom Esports are throwing at them, plus their high ground defense is generally on point.
Yep, the good wave clear that we talk about, right? You get caught by these engages here, but Carl pushing him back. Screen does pan over to the Nando.
Yeah, it looks like they're not going to get much in terms of John there. They will eventually just fall back at this point, but they're losing their jungle in the meantime. All 3 lanes right now about the mid area, so if anything, Boom Esports probably want to be just fixing the lanes first.
They still got John's flash. That's going to be a key cooldown to put Danny into a much more comfortable spot. If you imagine you have like a Fatih with like flash jumping onto you with the third spell, 1 flash, that's gonna be pretty uncomfortable if you're a marksman player, but now knowing for the fact that, hey, the enemy Fatih doesn't have flash anymore, I get to play more aggressively on this Lady Sun.
Yeah. And just being able to just kind of do your damage from afar. But Bai looking to go on the ledge. If anything, he's going to be backing off. But John, look, he's only level 13. He's a level behind Miggy, but he still needs more time to come online. They're going to lose the top Team 3. Less time for Team HOK available.
Ooh, that's going to be painful here. You can see the high grounds are just slowly but surely being chipped away. This is thanks to Danny's rolling raid on the Lady Sun. Extended range, he has to hit towers from afar. So if Boom Esports secures objective, better be ready here, Team HOK, because those towers are not going to be staying for long.
Yeah, not much at all. I mean, Boom Esports have a lot of damage. That burst is real. If they're able to get any sort of, pressure on, especially with those minions, they're gonna have a tough time, right? And the wave clear, too slow. They're not able to keep on pace, and Boom Esports taking the bottom T3 for free.
That's the difficulty of the Haya, right? When you play at Haya and you can't find those early game aggressive plays. So far, we've seen the Moonscape Mirage coming in by Mon. Hasn't been too beneficial. I think every single play has led to a good Boom Esports counter engage with Danny out of position.
Oh, the washed away Bai was thinking about going. The emergence is going to deter him from actually committing, and now Carl on the heroic play, deciding to go in on this one. He's not able to find the pickoff as of now, but John continuing, he's going to be left for dead. And now Boom Esports, it looks like Tatsuri gets picked off with that flaming palm. He gets on his dragon, he gets on out of this one, but Bai has been killed as well. And now Carl is trying to find Mon and Lola, but he's not able to go. Carl needs to be a little bit careful, turns it around, that's a triple kill, and they get the team ace, and Boom Esports will take game 3 and the series.
It was looking good at the very start of the fight, where Bai found the successful flash on towards the side of Danny, but the re-engage coming in by the Zhang Fei and the assassination angle coming in on Carl's Lam was just too crucial in breaking the formation of the side of Team HOK. But with that, clean 3-0 victory awarded to TTL's Beanies for finding the first win in Group B.
I'm going to kind of correct you. I don't think it was clean. I think it was a 3-0 victory in favor of Boom Esports. There were definitely some mistakes that they made, but I think that this is something that they can kind of build off, especially into 2026. This is a great win for them. That's going to be great in terms of confidence and really setting themselves up for the future, but they made some mistakes. They did not look like the Boom Esports of old.
Agreed. Like, they need to get back to the hotel or the player room, check the tapes, and make sure that they improve themselves ahead of their series again. Potentially, if I'm not mistaken, Kagendra that's coming up tomorrow here. But congratulations to Boom Esports finding their first win, first 3-0 in Group B. For Team HOK, another tough one to swallow.
Yeah, tough one. But there was a lot of positives, I would say, coming out of this one.
Agreed,
I mean, it's hard to be
yes.
like, oh yeah, you got 0-3, you got swept, and we're talking about the positives. But you had chances, right? This is a game where even in that last one, they were kind of winning at times, right? They had their moments, but it just, again, the mistakes in the end, just being able to just put them in a bad spot just too many times by Team HOK. But they will build on this, they will grow, they will learn, and they will come back much stronger.
I think you make a good point. If we were to break down the entire series from Team HOK's perspective, Game 1 was an absolute stomp coming in from their opponent, Boom Esports. They had no retaliation, no real method to make a comeback. But Game 2 started to look good. Early game-wise still has some flaws, but at the very late game stages, they pull off the high ground defense, made a comeback in terms of the goal lead, which is really good resilience and really good pressure handling. When it's late game, you have no high grounds, you have to worry about 3 losing lanes. But they managed to pull it off, and they put the game into a 20th minute mark. But sadly, they still lost the game, but it's still good improvement. And in Game 3, it's the early game laning phase that we keep nitpicking about, right? You lose the lane, you make it very difficult for Bai to play, but they still managed to improve compared to Game 2 and Game 1 to put themselves into a much more 40-60, 50-50 position in those mid-game team fights.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll see kind of how this kind of played out in terms of the highlights, right? But I do think that, if we're looking at the moment when, at least the one that's kind of sticks out to me, is when Mon decides to Moonscape Mirage, Danny, right? And once they lost that, they got wiped, right? And that completely changed the game, right? The dynamic of it, Boom Esports were able to completely control from then on. But Carl, to me, this is the guy. He's been 7-1-5. The last pick, Lam, just too much in the end.
Carl, Miggy, and also Draw. The three main players on towards Boom in Game 3 to find those key big moments, right? Like we see, like, okay, first one, Team HAQ starts with the Musuke Mirage coming in from Man's Haya. But then once it comes out, you see the immediate re-engage coming in by the Zhangfei and the follow-up coming in by the Clash Jungle of Boom Esports. So it makes it a really difficult environment for Man, Lola to actually strive into.
Yeah, they didn't really have a great time. I mean, I like the draft. I didn't think I saw too many weaknesses in it, but kind of going into it, they were very much on a knife's edge. Everybody's just very squishy. If somebody gets caught out and Boom Esports has that burst to really make them pay, they're just going to clean house. Once you lose one guy and you're down a member and you're playing man down, you're not going to really have a good team fight. So you're going to really struggle. And as you're seeing in the gold draft, you're going to struggle like Team HAQ did here.
Yeah, 4 minutes to 9 minutes, it was looking stable between two teams, with Boom Esports having the slight edge. But it was that fight that you mentioned, right? The Haya ulting the enemy Danny's Lady Sun, but then losing out the 1v1 at the 4v4 front end. They don't really have sufficient DPS to manage the firepower that's being provided by Boom Esports. Hence, they just lost the fight in like, what, a blink of an eye?
Yeah. You blink, literally one person died, you're like, oh, wait, the entire team is gone. Like, everybody was just instantly killed. And Boom Esports made them pay, right? I think that their positioning was far superior. They had really good vision in terms of when to make the proper jumps, and they made them pay throughout. It seemed like Team HAQ right now are not really on the same page. When they're trying to get the team fight, that initiation, like somebody will go in, like John will be by himself, and the rest of the team isn't really there to follow up and take advantage of that jump in.
It's what we say like a miscommunication, right? Where timing might not be right, the entry point might not be right. Someone is like missing from the fight because of miscommunication. The first 1 minute is perfectly understandable. It's because that the Fate on the hands of Bai wanted to prioritize on the jungle buffs for the farming tempo, right? But the 10th minute fight, the side lane, the 5v5s, those are key things that we need to look at, where if you are slow in entering certain places or entering certain fights, that's where the disparity gets enlarged. People see like, oh, why is the fight so out of sync? It's because some player or the specific communication between the players of a team, it's out of sync.
Yeah, and it's noticeable, right? Like somebody's out, like somebody is not on the same page with everybody else. But it looks like Draw, wow, he says no, shrugs it off, and he's gonna be like, no, I am the MVP. I am the guy. I was making all of those plays, and Zhangfei on the beast was 1-0 and 12. The amount of damage that he took, plus that control with that ult, he was really on point this game.
Roamers deserves love, and Draw definitely played a masterful game on the beast, which is Zhangfei. I would say that it's like what you mentioned, very solid controls, and he's not really flashy. He's utilizing his spells with a very smart efficiency. When you need the ultimate, he pops it. He doesn't just use it for fun. He uses it when his team is all in position. Hence we see in these early highlights, he got the first blood.
Yeah, he was just setting it up. I mean, he was always there when you needed to have been. His leaping sabers are on point. I mean, he misses this one, but look at the amount of revenge that they were going for. The amount of impact and just push back here. All 5 members catching out Nuo. That was kind of a good start for them, but that a 3-man umbrella outburst, that was on point.
3-man Unbridled Outburst into 3-man set coming in by Miggy's Truth Mantra, and then Carl just sweeps up everyone. That was just beautiful stuff coming in by Draw.
Yeah, did a great job here. Nuno with a nice little box here. Gave them a potential. There were moments you're kind of thinking, they're able to fight back. Bai was doing his work. He was trying to get on that ledge, but Carl was also sniping the back line as well. Look at this damage that he has. And John, this is that moment. He's going in, but the rest of the team had already been retreating. And John is like, okay, what am I doing now? You know, he's all by himself, and he, pays with his life.
And out of the screen, Bai also got sniped by the Annihilation coming in by Tatsuri. As of this point, you don't have 2 strong fighters to provide sufficient DPS, and Lola is just left to dry. Hence you can see, yes, 5 individual strong players are good, but 5 individual strong players that are on sync and have synergy are better. So Boom Esports, with their long history from spring, fall into 2026, gives them much more experience